Hey, what's up guys? Marek here with Trek Nutrition. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Trainer. Today I'm going to answer one of the most frequently asked questions in the fitness industry, which is basically what should we eat for breakfast? Mark Twain once said that truth can be stranger than fiction. And basically what I'm about to tell you will either make you question your ways or my knowledge. Basically, I always recommend eating protein, first thing in the morning and throughout the day, and focusing on carbs post-workout and later at night, so in the evening. And the reason for that is basically because carbs, first of all, they cause an insulin spike. And they also affect cortisol. And cortisol is that hormone, stress hormone, that basically makes your body store fat around the abdomen, basically your stomach area. Protein, on the other hand, is ideal in the morning, just because when we wake up, our bodies are in that catabolic state, and your body is basically relying on your muscles to take nutrients. So it will break them down and take those amino acids to basically use them for fuel and other basic functions. So protein first thing in the morning will fight that catabolic state and make you preserve and even build muscle. Again, carbs are good in the evening and post-workout to, first of all, to replenish that glycogen that you burn during the workout, and second of all, it will raise that insulin before bedtime, and it will fight that cortisol that is released at night when we sleep. According to research and a lot of surveys, most people actually tend to do the exact opposite of what I just recommended. So we tend to eat sugary, carb-heavy breakfasts, and we tend to consume most of our protein sources late at night. When it comes to breakfast, the number one enemy is cereal. According to surveys, again, most people still believe that cornflakes and brown flakes are still one of the healthiest choices they can make when it comes to breakfast. And what if I told you that cornflakes were actually invented in the 1800s by a doctor, John Harvey Kellogg, to keep people from masturbating? Yes, that's exactly what I said, and I strongly recommend reading up on Dr. Kellogg, basically one of the founders of Kellogg's cornflakes, because his practices and his methods will literally blow your mind. But obviously we're not here to talk about cereal. The fact remains that because of amazing marketing, that product is still the most commonly consumed product for breakfast around the whole world. Another misconception around breakfast is that people believe that this is actually the most important meal of the day. And I don't necessarily agree with this, just because it is absurd for me that when people are actually trying to lose weight, they wake up in the morning and they are not hungry and they force themselves to eat breakfast because it will help them lose weight. The reason why people that don't eat breakfast actually struggle with weight is because they wait too long to have their first meal. They wait till noon or 1 p.m. to have that massive sugary brunch, and usually at that point they are so hungry that they don't really care about what they eat. They just want to eat a lot. So I'm not saying that you should wake up first thing in the morning and eat breakfast because it's a healthy thing to do, but make sure you're ready, you're prepared. You have your first meal, not necessarily breakfast. It can be brunch or it can be lunch at 10 a.m., 12 p.m. before you actually become starving. And make sure that first meal actually comes from is full of protein and fat sources. Again, most recent studies actually show that eating protein, first thing in the morning, and eating carbs post-workout and later on at night in the evening actually promote leveling the hormone levels and actually help you sleep and get better rest at night. Consuming carbs later on in the evening basically has a lot of benefits when it comes to leveling your hormones. So besides insulin and cortisol, we also have leptin, which is another hormone that is responsible for your metabolism, which basically determines whether or not your body is burning fat or storing it. Okay, so let me explain the whole process. So when we wake up in the morning, our body is actually set to a fat burning mode. The worst thing we can do is basically eat like a sugary, heavy on carbs breakfast, including orange juice, toast, and previously mentioned cereal. If we can actually consume a nice protein and fat source for breakfast, and then eventually we'll go to the gym and hit the weights and consume carbs after the workout, we'll basically get the most benefit that we can get from carbs, and we'll avoid basically all of the negative effects that carbs can cause. A lot of you are probably wondering, so what about eating carbs pre-workout? This is the most commonly known source of energy, and to be honest, you don't really need them. I know some of you are probably furious right now, but it is true. If you eat enough calories from protein and fats, your body can actually go through the most grueling, the hardest workout ever, and just relying on sources of energy from protein and fats. If we consume calories from carbs before the workout, your body will actually have to burn those calories from carbs first before it goes to the fat storage and actually burn fat, which is probably the reason why we go to the gym in the first place. Another negative effect that carbs have on your body is the effect that they have on your nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system, which is basically your fight or flight response. When we eat a lot of carbs, our sympathetic nervous system is a little sluggish, is not as prompt and quick and effective. When we don't eat a lot of carbs, we tend to think quicker, react quicker, and basically get the most out of our workouts, and we can basically give our best during the gym session. To summarize, again, I'm not saying that carbs are bad and proteins are better. They are both equally important, but they have to be consumed at the right time. Again, carbs I recommend eating post-workout and in the evening to actually level those hormone levels, because it is essential for maintaining a nice muscular and lean physique. I know that what I've said is probably a little controversial, and maybe not all of you will agree with me, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel and let me know what you think. We can have an argument. Everything basically what I just presented, what I just said, is based on the most recent research, so I'm pretty confident that the information is accurate. Let me know what you think. Ask me more questions. I'll be happy to answer them in the next episode. Thanks a lot.